Good morning, everybody. So, broken charts versus rate cuts. We see a lot of broken charts. We'll see. It's been erratic. We'll see which way they go here, but this is just one of many little layouts within this page, I guess, whatever you call it. And so I thought we'd look at that, then we'll get to the markets and see, well, big stocks, leaders, something's got to bring up the rear or these things turn around. Apple down quite a bit. Over, I don't know, here. It's on major support. Microsoft broke down. Meta hasn't broken down through that support yet. These are live bars. These little what's happening right now. So there's a little bit of strength. It's gapping up. I think this one is. Let me see how that one is set. Yes, it is. So it's gapping down further on top of that support. Interesting. Netflix is showing relative strength, moving sideways. AVGO holding up better than most of the semiconductors. Down at the bottom of the bar. And NVIDIA rolling over. Google, as you know, gapped up on earnings. Amazon is gapping up above the base on earnings. I don't have Intel on here, but we could put it over here. See, it's gapping up to the top of the base. That's good. The spiders are gapping up to the bottom. It's on the bottom of that bar, SPY, that got all the way down to the 50 MA yesterday, and it's on some support. IBM, which has been a leader all year, did great. Broken down. AMD, semiconductor broken down. Oracle broken down. Tesla holding up relatively well. QCOM, another semiconductor. So a lot of damage done. There's a little bit of strength here and here. It'll be interesting to see whether Intel holds up here or not, or goes back down to fill the gap. We'll keep an eye on that, but there's a lot of damages have been done. Now, the reports that came out this morning, we'll get to these charts, came out this morning, we see that the 13-week is now breaking lower. So this jobs report, hurricane, whatever, things, who knows if we can believe what's happening, but now we're getting this, okay, there's going to be a surer rate cut than the uncertainty about the rate cut. And so far, the reaction has been not so bullish, but some gap ups, some moves higher. But, basically, it's like how much of the rate cut's going to help the markets versus, I think, no matter what, all of these reports, we're going to have to get past Tuesday to really figure out what's going to happen here. So, yes, yesterday things got a little bearish, would you say? And we'll take a look. I'm not so sure why. We were discussing that in the room. All of a sudden from the flip-flopping, what was it, earnings reports, everybody decided to hit the bid, not care about the election, but things, they came down. But now as this 13-week is pushing lower, say, okay, yes, they're going to cut rates again. Now that we know that, what is the market's reaction? So we go and look. So even if we didn't know that stronger belief about a rate cut was coming, we'd say, well, makes sense. It's on support. Futures here are on support. Big wide range bar down. Reviewing our concepts, we know it's a momentum move and creates a void in a smaller time frame. And this little move up this morning is coming up to the first resistance area, being that pivot to the left, where it's beginning to stall. Okay, so from here, now we'll do this on any chart that looks like this. Eyeball about a 50% area. 50 around 5,800, a whole number. If it can't close above that, this is just noise. If it closes like this today, we can't do anything until next week because tomorrow's Saturday. And 1, 2, 3 lower, whatever else forms, probably going to be another inside day. I'm imagining until after Tuesday. It'll just flip flop around here. NASDAQ futures broke major support. So one of the concepts, from the MTS is, okay, here's your major support. Where's the next level of major support? And when it's close by like that, odds are it's not going to continue to fall precipitously until it stabilizes a little bit. But we see since this low here, this is the first time after making a higher high, there was a close under a pivot low. So it's broken the uptrend line. Not in the downtrend, it's in a sideways trend, and the next support level is right there, and there's a 50 MA. And depending on how things end the day, we're going to have a big red weekly bar. And so as this happens, we go into the next week thinking, okay, things have made a turn as we look at this chart, which would suggest some consolidation. And if it can't go back up, it'll go down. And then on Tuesdays, that news will come out after the market's closed. And then on Wednesday, we will see together and what the reaction is. Well, we'll see what the futures do overnight, as everyone will, or most will look at their TV reports to see how the numbers are coming in. So YM gapping down here. This is today. It was higher now. It's coming off of this high point and pulling in a little more bearishly, but it was stronger. You can see the weekly chart. So broken trend. Also, I want to look at the industrials. Yeah, broken down. Now, this is just one of my rules, meaning, well, he's got two pivots here. So when it makes a higher high and it comes down, and actually there's a third one here, and it comes down under two pivot lows like that, I just automatically look at this. Like if I'm doing the trend matrix in the ETF letter, I'm going to move this to a downtrend. And you say, well, Greg, it doesn't have lower highs and lower lows yet. And I would say, yes, I realize that. But I'm moving this to a downtrend to define my bias, that I'm going to treat it as a downtrend. In other words, so if it comes up here and was to form some kind of a reversal, or there's a topping tail, what do you do in downtrends? You short. You don't go long. And that's how I'll be looking at the Dow, unless it gets back above this area. And that brings in retracement concepts. So when you have a bias, you need other tools to adjust your bias as to what's happening. Excuse me. All right. We didn't look at Russell. Thank you for that. Breakdown, support. Maybe this is a topping pattern, pivot high, new high, deep retracement. Maybe it was going to go up. Oh, I guess not. Green bar. There's an alert there now. Will it break the lows? And I want to look at the transports. Held up relatively well. I don't get any pre-market data, but there was a rejection and another rejection, and it's a really messy chart. We'll see what it does. Bitcoin, little pullback, up at the top of the trading range. Totally makes sense. See how it handles this. Does it go sideways, break down? This is now major support. New high, pivot low prior, major support, and minor support, and rising moving averages. We'll look for some kind of bullish price action to see if Bitcoin is going to break out of this range that it's been in all year. Gold, oh, big red bar. Is it extended? Yeah. It's on support. It's up here a little bit today. Let's see if we get a red bar ignored. Right, there's the perfect example of a wide range bar and the momentum move and being the weakest link. And we've seen this happen in the markets. We talked about this over the last year or so, where we've seen voids created by big red bars, dailies, big moves down, and prices go back up again. How do prices go back up after such a big bearish bar? Well, it's because it's in a bullish uptrend. We'll see if that happens. Same story. Even though it's in an uptrend, 50% area, does it close above it? We'll see. Silver, a little bit more bearish, coming down. Still major supports here. Minor support. So while it came down hard, it has not violated the trend. It's just moving up a little bit there. Crude oil, up this morning, but within a big mess. But we can see that buyers are stepping up in this area. And I'll just expand this chart a little bit. It's, well, I would call it a pretty critical area, a focal area for crude oil, where it's held here since last year. And now it's here again, and buyers are stepping up. And so these oil stocks, if this continues to stabilize here, and it's down here, and thinking about the election, I would imagine if Trump is elected, why would prices go up? I mean, he says he's going to turn on the spigots. There would be more supply. Maybe it would go down. I don't know. We're going to have a lot of things to figure out after Tuesday or Wednesday. All right, spiders. They're up here a little bit, backing off. And I got my cursor where they're at. I would say they're close to 50% into the red bar, give or take. Looking at the 65-minute, nothing of real significance there. Yesterday's video was, okay, we're looking for it to come down there. It never did, but other markets were at support levels. So on the 50 MA, an area of support, not on the pivot. And it's up here a little bit. There's news coming out at 10 o'clock if you're not aware. So keep that in mind. Not sure if it'll be a market mover, but keep it in mind. Today will be a possible transition, downtrend, daily, weekly, it's still uptrend. So your daily bias will give you trades or lower. Well, yeah, right. So trend, I'm reading the question in social media post there about the daily downtrend bias being lower for the transports, for the Dow, but the weekly's still up. So shorter time frame, longer time frame. Shorting bias, selling bias, buying bias. Where would I think this would be a buy? Well, here's major support. Here's minor support. And this rolling over, deterioration, trend changes stop in lower time frames. That's a fact. So now, as this continues to weaken, there's nothing to stop it from going down. Another one of our tools or concepts is creating support or resistance. So as this starts to move down, it'll form another pivot at some point. But as you can see here, there's nothing to stop it. So the 20 MA is equal to the 100 MA on the daily time frame. So that 41,000 area could be a place, there's an unfilled gap in that area. So that would give you some guidance, assuming this continues to deteriorate, where to look for a turn. And that would make sense, just looking at this weekly chart. Okay. All right. Let me move on here. It's getting late. All right. So we see where that is. And it's a third of the way up. SPX. These were the numbers. Interesting that there's this big open interest at the same strike. So it's up here. Can that economic report move it up there? Anything's possible. That's a tremendous resistance area. Congestion, gap, huge open interest at 5,800. Can it get down there today? I don't think so. Why not? Because of the gap down and the continuation move lower. It's gapping up. Pick your spot. There's a big open interest here at 5,640, and there's an even bigger one at 5,600. And all expiring today. And, well, just look at the VIX, since that came up to the highs. That would be a piece of information that would say the market's not going to go much lower either today, unless that news comes out and it's something that surprises the hell out of the markets that says, hey, there's no way they're going to cut rates. So keep an eye on that. All yours, Dan.
Good morning here. I'm just adjusting whiskey. This was an earnings trade we did yesterday. And at first, let's sell whiskey. At first, when I saw the gap up, I was thinking, uh-oh, we got to be concerned on the call side. And then it was stabilizing here. So what I said was, go ahead and move the stop on the put side. Yesterday's low, moves up 30-minute high on the call spread. We're short the 35s, so it's still fine unless it, does something totally asinine at the open. But we shorted a $2 wide condor for 38 cents. So, and it's $6.50 away. So there's a 99.9% confidence we're going to have an open game unless the spreads are like zero by $2. But all right, so that's what I was working on. I don't have any other alarms going off. Strange. All right, so let's just go right to earnings. Stavros. Stavros, you're talking about this whiskey? He's saying a bit advanced, like a deep, steep buy setup. Well, yeah, if this held up here, then it would have been on my long list to buy over maybe a 10-minute high, because it'd be a bullish reversal and major support with a bullish pre-market. But the fact that it now is retracing 100%, there's nothing to do for a new trade. I was just telling you how we're managing our condor. All right, earnings here, Intel. This is amazing. Gap into $23, and they said they reported a loss of $16.6 billion loss last quarter. So there's only one reason on earth that it's gapping up this high. And that is because the market expected worse news than that. And then, whatever else they said, I don't know. Amazon. So these are dueling. These are dueling island reversals. This was a bearish island reversal, and I said in the green room yesterday, this thing could gap over the high. I have no friggin' idea. And it's not only gapping over yesterday's high, it's gapping over Wednesday's high. That is amazingly bullish gap to all-time highs. But today being Friday and this possibly being exhaust, well, it's not an exhausting gap. It's a very bullish one, but I call them excessive. So you all know the drill. If I get a pattern, a topping pattern in the first hour, then it's a 0 DTE call spread because they're going to be jacked on the gap up. Here, read it here. Remember we were talking, do y'all remember in the green room? I said, hey, once it breaks this 15-minute shell, let's sell a call spread. And we decided to wait for today. But this is not earnings. I'm looking at it on my other computer. But this is a great pattern for 0 DTE now. Apple, that's a bearish gap and it's not holding. So that, I have a hard time believing the Qs are going to stay strong. If that keeps making new lows, I'm looking at Google here, basing at the low here pre-market. Team, I did a condo on this yesterday. But I'm sure glad I did not get filled. I canceled it in the Telegram. But that's a monster gap. CPT, waiting for data. Oh, shoot, I just lost data. All right, IR 94. I would love this if it were just gapping a 95. Then I'd say short 5-minute low, target 200. But we'll come back to it. All right, if something has no up or down here, I'm just going to skip it because then there's no volume. I see one print at 135. If it is gapping up there, it's excessive for me. Sierra Mike, I don't see any prints. EMN breakdown, call spread, target 100. But look, it's a gapping too big. It's gapping at 102. If it were gapping at 104, I'd be all over it. 5-minute low. Seagal, no pattern. Yes, remember this one? Do y'all remember in the green room? I said if this opens flat to slightly up, short the heck out of it today and or yesterday's low. That's a nice pattern. Closing breakdown and a power downtrend, weekly, monthly in alignment, but I have a print down here. It's excessive. Con, I don't see any prints. Car. Sammy boy, I think you were talking about a condor on this. So that's home run. It's home run when you sell options and they open flat. Then you're going to get, massive vol crush. Tree, 50. That's a bullish pattern. There, I'm going to put that bottom right. Tree looks good. Sky West. These airlines have done so well last couple months. No prints, RGA, no print. Well, there is a print 208. That's a short watch. I like that. Target. Target 200. So, when I say I like it, unless I gave you a specific entry like short 5-minute low or 30 or whatever, it just means I put it on a 5-minute chart and watch it. Like that show, The Watcher on Netflix. You all see that? The Watcher. 14. Okay, these are morning trades. XOM, nice gap, no pattern. But I've been saying the last couple of days we need to scan oil put spreads, and I almost gave USO yesterday, but I wanted a pullback, which I never got. 152 gap into the top of the range. Chevron, let's see what it does at 10. No good pattern other than if you can do a call spread over Wednesday's high. Aries, I don't see any prints, but no pattern. Delta, no pattern. Charter, huge gap. It's bullish, but no pattern. Ka, that's a monster gap. Look at that gapping way up here, but there's nothing in my comfort zone to do with that. PPL, 31 bucks, nasty gap. This is not earnings, but I had an alarm on Honeywell, just went off 206. So that's the watch. I'm gonna put that in the window. All right, PPL, it's tanking waters, monster gap, monster. Wow, but it's off my charts here, 375. Man, that's a big gap. Now, see, that's a pro gap, but again, it's possibly excessive, and we'll see what it does for zero DTE call spread. All right, 70 bucks, gap's too big. SIBO, SIBO I like. That's nice reversal at the 2050, 180 reversal. 58 bucks, gapping right to the 200, but it's gapping there from consolidation, which I don't like in terms of a long. SPX. There's our whiskey. 128, 30-minute high maybe, and a put spread. All right, 1 minute to go. I'm almost done. 40 gaps too big, but it had this open flattish. Then I'd say buy yesterday's high, buy setup after making the new low reversal. TDS, no prints, ABR. It's gapping over yesterday's high, but there's no void, so no interest. AMR. I don't see any prints. And then 98 and change, so that's bearish. All right, perfect. I just got through all earnings right in time. Vroom is one I said if it opened flat, short the heck out of it, but you see the gap's too big now. But that was my bias. You see, another closing breakdown after this topping tail. But the gap busted up. Team Delta 20 is asking me about team call spread. It's a big gap. I would never do a call spread on a big gap earnings stock within 1 minute of the market open. I have insufficient data, Delta 20, but it's a consideration in the first 30 minutes if it sets up. But I do use pre-market data in my gap analysis. So it did have a false breakout there leading into the market open. So I would now put it on a 5-minute chart and see what type of retest you can get. And you don't want it to take out pre-market high. So that would be my strategy. Yeah, T, I was hoping for a 1, 2, 3. It's on my list here. Yeah, I'm short these 2150 puts that will be full profit. All right, Estee Lauder got whacked yesterday. I'm going to watch it. Boeing. What's going on with my data? Boeing, they're still jacking around trying to get the strike finished. UPS. Roger emailed this to me yesterday and he said, what about buying yesterday's high? And I said, it's not a potent turn, so I would not do it unless it took out Wednesday's high. So Wednesday's high, I like UPS for a put spread. Sherwin, I posted as a short, yesterday's low. Zulu India, yesterday's high. Reddit, I mentioned call spread. Still strong. It's staying in the upper 40% of that. It's still strong, but you can, I would place my entry on the 15-minute chart. So if it goes up here and can't get above 120, then I would consider 0 DTE. All right, whiskey. Let's see what the midpoint is right now. I'm bidding 20, and I did not get filled. I didn't hear any bell. And say Don. So this is totally spreads. When I try to buy the Condor back, it's saying that it's a credit of 5 cents. So that's 100% result of spreads. Like the 37 and a halves are are 0 by 38. All right, I'm gonna bid a penny. I'm gonna bid a penny on the 37 and a halves. See if I get filled. In the call side. They're stupid spreads. Our short calls are 0 by 21. But the 47 calls are 0 by 24. So I'm going to bid a penny on the 47s. And then that would it would hedge my short ones. All right. So I got yeah, of course. But I got some orders out there. I'll tell you if I get filled or not. All right. Look at a tree bottom right. Um, Actually, it's still okay if it takes out today's high. But see, now it's 50% into that. So that's an ugly reversal of a bullish gap. But I'll set my alarm at 58 and then forget about it. No, I'm shocked. I have so many no alarms going off. It's like it's broken. Strange. All right, Intel giving it up. Intel is Greg, you know what the analogy is?
That what,
In
Dan?
the analogy for Intel, he
No.
is he is the marijuana stock of semis. Wow, AD like 1,500. What is moving that? All right, this Carvana. Oh, let me see how far away I can get. There's 265s for today. Nope. 1 penny. Yeah, I think I looked yesterday also. There's no juice because we're comparing the juice to Reddit. All right, now I have an alarm going off. Honeywell. All right, so let's buy over Wednesday's high, stop week low, and I'll check puts too. But Greg, military stock's going to move with the election. So are you sure you want to do this?
The time, I think, of Wednesday or Tuesday afternoon, I think most people should be flat. Who knows which way it's going to turn out and things move. It's like worse than a Fed announcement.
Why no? And that's why I'm asking you how we want to do it.
Well, say just do it. Close it out by Tuesday afternoon.
All right. Wow, tree, forget about it. All right, whiskey. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay, the 36s. All right, I guess put another order out trying to buy the 36s of the hedge and then closing my long one. I mean, you could get out at 8 cents if you had to, and that would be at a higher strike even. All right, let me set a new alarm. All right, so that triggered 206.64. Well, Alex, on the daily chart, that's an incorrect statement. The way we define resistance and pivots and congestion and so forth. This is a fluid move down. All right, where I get the. All right, so I just got to cancel my other working orders and see what I got filled on. All right, I bought 36.33 for 4 cents. All right, so let's just move stop under 41 for now. All right, what did you say?
Shoes look the best.
That's I am bullish. Wow, yeah, Q's ripping here. Uh, yeah, all things stabilized. Yeah, that's it's an inverse head and shoulder with a smaller right shoulder. What'd you say, Nova? That's a nice reversal at the bottom. I like it. Um, I'm gonna do a full lot. Why would you Zulu India up alarms that triggered 12? Yeah, yeah, I, I like this pattern. I don't think there's a reason to only do a third. Because yesterday was a something something bar. But it's fine. It's a bottoming pattern, half, and then Monday buying over the highs. Nothing wrong with that. It's either calls or puts. 14 DTE. Too spready to buy calls. Earnings 219, so we're good there. Team. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it came straight down, but as I was telling Delta 20 at the market open, I said go to a smaller time frame and see if you could get a bounce. What do you think of? I like it. Jesus, it's a 180 breakout range expansion. Looks good. You know, it's up a lot from $84 though. I watched a pullback, but you know me, let me check a put also for next week. Spreads are crazy. 25 by 135. Crazy. So let me put car here, watching a pullback. Looks good. Yeah, I wish I saw it earlier. Yes, up alarm. Hmm, did it go over here? 135. No, no. It was an early alarm. Never mind. 135, 135, 33. Ooh, India triggered. Horse shoot. I don't know if it was triggered. Yeah, no, triggered already. Looks good. I think, I think Alex, he's hoping that his GM Pinto will start. And that's kind of just his warm up. All right, well, um, whatever you had. Heavy no, okay, yeah, that might do it. Day trade only. That's not a good swing at all. But you're chasing. It's up a lot. Could have bought 15-minute high. Stop days low. All right, whiskey. Is this a stop again? 48. All right, so yeah, we're out at 3 cents, 2 cents out of the put spread. All right. That was a nice gain on whiskey. Yeah, there was just, there was no brainer entry for me done. I wanted to see some type of M top or retest or something. But that Reddit, I think, no, let me check juice bar on Reddit. Yeah, they suck the juice out for 0 DTE for next week. You could do the 130s of juice, but then the further out of the money are too spready, so you're not going to get a good credit. I guess had an alarm on Snap go off. If it closes like this, I'll like it. Let's go through other alarms now. I mean, other open positions. ADM still weak. Look at Amazon Gap, and that's holding strong. Apple could take out the 30-minute heights. I would never swing it, but it's a nice reversal using pre-market data if there's any juice. 0 DTE. Microsoft. Not on Google. Google's there you go. There's a buy setup now. Sloppy one. but over the high, 0 DTE, let there be juice at 169. There are no 169s. 167.50s are 4 cents. Well, there's no premium. JP Morgan dead money. Net. I came close to stopping yesterday. PG, we're in trail mode. Let's move stop. 166.52. Yeah, IWM selling off the most on that number for whatever reason. Zoom holding strong. All right, that's it. So we don't have much open. Yeah, you know what makes me sick, Alex? Is the economy strong, the job market strong, and we got deficits of 6% of GDP. I was like, what? I mean, what planet are you on to be spending this much money in a good economy? All right, I just bought because I'm gonna be gone this afternoon at the boat show, so I don't feel like messing with this. I think this, they have zero risk, so you don't have any crazy post-market move. I just paid a penny for the 49s. No, I'm not buying a boat. Yeah, my alarm just went off, Patrick. Um, no, it's just a rickshaw. I go with all my buddies Friday afternoon. It's more of a social fest with boats and girls being around. Yeah, UPS. So Greg, you want this one too, directional? I gave put spread 132, 128.
You asking me about UPS?
Yeah, do you want it long? I gave it a
Yeah.
put spread.
Yeah, good for a day trade.
No, I
Anybody
meant
wants to hold it over the weekend.
that's what I'm asking for advisory letter.
And just put it out there. If they want to hold it over the weekend, it looks fine.
Okay, but you want me to put it on the spreadsheet?
Yes.
Okay. Give it an arbitrary a little bit below yesterday's low, like 60 cents below. Yeah, let me go through earnings trades now. Perking there. Yeah, wow, this morning it was gapping when I looked at these, it was gapping at the top of the range. And I said, let's see what it does. So I did not watch it gap and go. The bearish gives the bullish ones. Yeah, that into the room. That's the one I said short yesterday's low. Gap messed it up. Bar looked great, but ran too much. Tree got demolished.